Kolo Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Shalom to the house of David, the 144,000, but after I will die, and 1/3 men, women, and children are part of the elect. To Israelite foreigners scanning four corners of the earth, confusing us faces, speaking the different tongues, meaning the different languages. It's part of the church. It's part of the elect. Basically, real quick, man. Yeah, the solar eclipse that's coming up. These are signs from heavens, man. These are signs from heaven that the Lord gives us. The first solar eclipse to cross America in 99 years is coming. 100 years, man. To some, it's an act of God. It is an act of God. It is an act of God. And then when it's heavy because it's crossing, I believe, from Salem, Oregon, all the way to Columbia, South Carolina. And then the next one, that's 2024, is another cross from America, basically making an X crossed out. That's the Most High. That's the finger of the Most High saying he's crossing out America, man. America's going to be destroyed. These are all omens, signs.
Here's one spectacular event you won't want to miss this summer. It's a total solar eclipse sweeping the U.S. from coast to coast on August 21st. A total eclipse occurs when the moon moves precisely between the Earth and the Sun, casting a long moving shadow. It will start near Salem, Oregon, and move southeasterly until it sweeps out to sea from South Carolina. The width of total darkness, that's called totality, will be about 70 miles. The closer to the center of that path, the deeper the darkness. And get this, the United States is...
Hey, the scriptures say what? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's dark. It's gloomy. Hey, the scriptures say valley of the shadow of death. Death Valley. This place is darkness, man. Valley of dry bones. We're coming out of that dead state. Hey, this says it's only visible in the United States. There's a reason for that. It's only visible in the United States, man. Because the United States is the valley of the shadow of death, Death Valley. See, Undertaker was from Death Valley. And he had the chokeslam. That was his move. Coming out that dead state to come after Cain, his brother, man. And that's us.
The only place in the world where you can see the eclipse in person. So if you want to get the best seats, here's some travel options. For the adventurous, you might want to try the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument in Oregon. Normally, camping isn't allowed there, but if you volunteer to help during the eclipse, you can camp for free. The remote town of Casper, Wyoming might be a good choice too. Prospects are good.
It's heavy because Salem is known for like you got Salem, Massachusetts. Like Salem is a high point for a lot of witches and warlocks, man. You have Casper. You had that show Casper with that ghost, and that's spooky and eerie, man. This place is called Casper over here. That's spooky and eerie, man. Welcome to Casper. Ghost, that's spooky and eerie. So Salem, Casper, those are all omens, man. Spooky means strange and eerie. And this is a strange and eerie event.
Wyoming might be a good choice too. Prospects are good for clear weather, and the wide open spaces are great for viewing. And on to St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yeah, St. Joseph. See that? Joseph. St. Joseph.
That's where an eclipse viewing party with solar telescopes is scheduled at the local airport. In Tennessee, Nashville will be the place to be. It's the largest city completely in the path of totality. And Columbia, South Carolina will be the last big city in the path. It's the most accessible place in the eastern U.S. to see the end of the Great Eclipse. If you miss it, you have a few years to prepare for the next one in 2024.
A rare solar eclipse in 2017, another one in 2024 will mark a giant X across U.S. Look at that, man. Look at that. There's all signs. The Lord is coming to bring a giant X to America. Matthew 24 and 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. It's Matthew 24 and 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. Amen. That's the times we're living in, man. These are all omens. These are all signs from heaven. These are all signs from heaven, man. Luke 21, I'm sorry, Salakia, 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth the stress of nations with perplexity. They're across on Amerikkà, man. The sea and the waves roaring, men's heart filling them from fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on earth. The powers of heaven shall be shaken. And it's a dark, the darkness that's going across, that's making this cross to Amerikkà, man. The eclipse. It's actual darkness. And the scriptures talk about the day of the Lord is darkness and the light. Men's heart filling them for fear and for looking for those things which are coming on earth. And the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the sign of man come in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up, lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So these are all signs, man. Jeremiah 10, hear ye the word of the Lord, speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed by them. You know? So the heathens are dismayed by these Rothschilds, elites, which they're going to do some satanic ritual here on earth, as above, so below, which they go by, which that goes back also to the ancient Egyptians to do that. They imitate the celestials from heaven, and they said that they believe that they get the power from heaven when they imitate the celestials, which also the planets are also called celestials too, man. Celestial bodies.